I'm going to approach the subject of effective communication by asking you a few questions. And those questions are: how many times in a conversation have you found yourself structuring a response to what someone is saying before they even finish talking? Hands up. How many times have you found yourself preparing a counter argument to a point that somebody's making? How many times have your conversations with people been about who can score the most points and who can prove the other wrong? How many times have your conversations been a zero-sum game? One's going to win and one's going to lose. Is that an effective way of conducting your conversations? Is it an effective way of communicating? Now, communication is a broad subject, but I'm going to attempt to summarize some of the key components of effective communication. Listening is a key component. Active listening is a key component. For example, someone comes up to you in your organization and expresses their frustration at working in that place. I'm really frustrated. I've been frustrated for about a year now, and I'm thinking of leaving. I've just had enough of the way things are. For many leaders and many managers in here, the mental response may be, well, if you don't like it, you know where the door is. We've spent years building this organization into what it is, and we are very proud of what we've achieved. So if it's not what you're looking for, maybe it's time to go. They may not say that, but in so many cases that may be running through their minds, because when someone vents their frustration or expresses their frustration, what it means basically is that the leaders and the managers and the people that are at the helm of the organization are not doing a good enough job. And that's hard to hear. An effective or active listener, someone who is interested in effective communication in a leadership position, would ask questions like, what is it that frustrates you exactly? Let's see if we can zone in on the one or two things that are at the top of your frustrations. And then if we deal with them, we could possibly reduce your frustration by about 80%. It's the 80-20 rule, right? Rather than try and deal with absolutely every frustration that a person brings to you, let's focus on the big ones so we can make some big wins quickly and bring back a level of confidence and satisfaction. So effective listening, effective communication in this example would involve active listening, asking of questions. Who is the source of your frustration, if any? It might be that your immediate line manager is a source of frustration. Let's see if we can work with that. What exactly is your frustration? Why are you frustrated? When did this frustration begin? Was there a major change that took place in an organization, or maybe even just a small change? When, why, what, how, these questions, exploratory questions, can help you gain clarity into a person's communication, because that's a key aspect. Summarizing what they've said and asking them questions tells them that you actually care about what they are talking about, and you are engaging with them. You are seeking to understand rather than to win a point. And in seeking to understand, you show them empathy and you also show them support. You show them that they are valued and important in your organization, and that can help bring down the level of frustration. Another part of effective communication is the actual talking aspect of it. Are you clear in your communications with people? Do you deliver your expectations with clarity? Do you deliver your message with clarity? Does your message have any weight behind it? Do you have adequate credibility as a manager or as a leader for people to listen to your message? Have you led with integrity, thereby inspiring trust? If not, you'll need to work on your ethos, because that may be affecting the quality of your communications. When you put your messages across or your arguments across, are they grounded in good, solid, concrete logic? Because without a logical backing to your message, it's likely to fall not just on deaf ears, but it's likely to be picked apart by people who have analytical minds, people who question what they hear and don't just listen and follow. So a grounding in logic is absolutely essential. And that's logos, from rhetoric, developed in ancient Greece. It's another subject on its own, but that's the bare basics. A key factor in communication is being able to appeal to the emotions of your audience. If you look at motivational and transformational orators like Winston Churchill, with his speech, "We will never surrender." When you look at Barack Obama and his speeches, the most notable one of them probably being "Yes, we can." When we look at Mandela's inauguration speech in 1994, where he spoke to move the people of South Africa into a mindset of reconciliation and healing. When you look at Martin Luther King and his "I Have a Dream" speech, these are all people who were able to tap into the emotions of their audience and move them emotionally. And once you've moved your audience emotionally, your message is probably most likely to come to fruition and be accepted, because you've won over hearts and minds. And in winning hearts and minds, more than 90% of the battle is won. The other 10%, in my opinion, is ethos and logos. So there's a few things I want to leave you with on the subject of effective communication. And those things are: examine your own listening skills. Make an active effort to learn active listening and to apply it every day. And notice how often you don't or haven't been applying this, and decide on a goal on how often you are going to actively listen, truly listen, ask questions, summarize, paraphrase, and get a true understanding. Examine the way you deliver your communication, your verbal communication, your body language, because body language, while it's non-verbal, is arguably 93% of your communication. Your audience will be judging how much you believe in what you are saying. They will be judging how connected you are to your own message before they connect with the message you are passing them. So be aware that active listening is one aspect, verbal communication is another, and yet another, and probably the most important of them all, is body language, your non-verbal cues, the tone of your voice, the way you hold yourself, the way your shoulders are either back or forward, whether you're hunched over or you're standing up straight, the pitch of your voice and the speed of your voice. All these are really important in terms of communicating with people. I hope this has been of help, and I look forward to giving you a talk on some other aspects of leadership as time goes on. Thank you very much for listening.